Okay, hello everyone, we're back online. Sorry for the delay. We shall take a few questions from the part one interactive FAQ, and then from there we'll go to questions relating to the India Youth Fund, and then we'll continue with the new questions. Thank you.
Okay. There is an NGO that asks for any age criteria for trustees and board of directors.
The question is there an age criteria for the trustees and board of directors? The question basically is relating to the management and of the organization. Criteria needs to be minimum 25% of the board needs to be under the years of 32. 25% of the board. And the management group has to have a majority of the group under 32. So over 50% must be under 32. Okay.
Okay. Next question is from George Wambia from Kenya. So his question and comment goes, Kenya is currently having devolved units, that is the county government. Could the urban youth work with the county government for the realization of the goals of the UN Habitat?
John Andres, you want to answer that? Or?
Could you please repeat the question?
A question from George Wambia from Kenya. Kenya is currently having the devolved unit, i.e. the county government. Could the urban youth work with the county government for the realization of the goals of the UN Habitat?
Very good question. Definitely. We are currently supporting youth groups in Kenya who's working on the issue of devolution. So a youth group who's choosing to work together with the county government or the local authorities or the national government is very welcome. We would say it's definitely an added value with a proposal if you have thought through your relationship with the local authority and the county government. So if you have a project where you're planning to do this in partnership with the local authorities, this would be a very good thing to put in the proposal. So we do encourage you fully to work with the county government, and especially in Kenya these days with the devolution process, this is highly relevant.
Okay. Next question is written by an organization which misses 1 year legal registration criteria by a few weeks, but has bank account and audited financial documents qualified to apply. The question is, does this organization can apply for the fund or not?
The question is because they're missed by a few weeks to be 1 year old with the registration. We need to be fair to everybody in terms of the eligibility. So if you're not 1 year by April 15th, which is the closing date of the Urban Youth Fund, you should apply with a facilitating organization. People also need to understand that the more you apply with a partner, the more you could show that you're engaging other partners, whether it's other nonprofit or government sectors. It gives a stronger application and a sustainability plan, because our funding is supposed to only be for 1 year. Therefore, you also, in your application, you will see you also need to show how will your project continue after our funding. And one of the best ways is by the organization to be able to create different partnerships with governments or other entities to be able to continue the project afterwards. And this is looked upon very positively when the project is being assessed, the sustainability aspect of the project. Thank you.
Great. Next question from Yogesh from Nepal. Can we develop a proposal with co-funding and of a time more than 1 year? With co-funding. Like one organization can to another.
So you can have co-funding.
You understand it?
I think a funding that should be specific, like what exactly funding from the UN Habitat and which is probably safe funding.
Would you like to answer? Priscilla will answer that question.
So to answer that, you can apply with a co-funding, but in your budget proposal, yes, please make sure that you make a distinction between the funds that you're requesting from from the Urban Youth Fund, and the funds that you are getting from your other partner. So in your budget plan, you have to account for the money that you will be using from the funds that you are requesting from us, and not as the total funding that you have. I hope this answers the question. And also, all our projects need to be carried out over 12 months, so they cannot go beyond these 12 months and not under 12 months. So 12 months, all your activities develop over these 12 months.
Well, next question is, our NGO has more than 100 members, but we are a group of 10 young people interested in leading the project. Is it possible?
Again, it does not matter how many members you have. What matters is, are you registered as an organization? Do you have a board? Do you have a bank account in the name of the organization? The bank account cannot be in the name of an individual. So you must be a registered organization, regardless of how many people are in the organization or how many other members you have that are partaking in the activities.
And just to pick up from what Eric said, these people who are interested in leading the project need to be youth between 15 and 30, whatever the number is.
The next question from Manas. Do you consider projects with a focus on mobility and access to public realm, particularly about the right to public space?
John Andres, if you want to answer that?
Yes, we do. As Priscilla was elaborating in part 1, the Urban Youth Fund is supporting projects within the whole range of the UN Habitat mandate. Urban mobility and public transport is within that mandate. So we have projects like that already. We have dedicated projects on youth and public space. So this is very relevant, and we do get not enough project like that. So project like this would stand perhaps a higher probability to get funding than an urban entrepreneurship project that we receive numerous proposals.
Next question. Mario writes, I am working with the Human Life Gate in Tanzania, and we have a program to adolescent mothers. So what are the criteria can we meet and how to ask for funds?
Please repeat the question.
Yeah. Mario writes, I am working with the Human Life Gate in Tanzania, and we have a program to adolescent mothers. So what the criteria can we meet and how to ask for funds?
So they are working with adolescent mothers, and they're asking for what criteria they need to meet and working for the fund. Again, I would direct this organization to the guidelines of the Youth Fund and the frequently asked questions. You should be registered as an organization for a registration certificate for a year. Should have a bank account in the name of the organization. All this information is on our website. Please visit unhabitat.org. Look at those criteria if you're eligible. Once you're eligible, you can work with us. Once you put in your proposal and you become successful for funding. So that's what I would suggest it happens. Okay. At this moment, we shall go to India and ask Shruti to answer some of the questions that are specific to the India Youth Fund window. Thank you.
Thanks, Eric. I have one question here from Mr. Sandeep Jaiswal. Can you please specify if involvement of girls or young women in the board is a compulsory eligibility criteria? Can that be relaxed? Also, our organization, Amrut Dhara, was legally registered 3 months back. Can we apply for the grant on a standalone basis? Sandeep, according to the fund rules, the management board must have equal representation of men and women, and that's a criteria we cannot relax. Secondly, regarding your next question, since your organization has been registered only 3 months ago, you will have to apply with a facilitating organization. However, even in that case, it is important that you have women on the board of your organization. The next question that we received is from Shannon. My name is Shannon, and I write on behalf of the organization Faith Foundation. We plan to apply for the Youth Fund. Is it mandatory to have a 12A and ATG to apply? Because we do not have those documents yet. We have a valid registration certificate and an operating bank account. Do kindly let us know. Shannon, I'm sorry, but the fund guidelines do not let organizations apply without valid 12A and ATG certification. These are required in terms of auditing and taxing purposes. Therefore, it's important to apply with a facilitating organization that's registered for at least a year and has all of these documentation requirements. Another point I'd like to make here is that we do not accept email applications. Anyone who needs to apply will have to go through the online system. I think that's about it from the India Youth Fund.
Thank you, Shruti. And I need to echo that comment. We still tend to get a lot of applications on email. Please go to the website and apply online. You're able to download the application, so you don't have to be online when you're completing this application. Compile all your documents and supporting papers that you need, have them scanned, and then when you've finished everything, you can come back and upload. So you're not spending so many time at an internet cafe trying to apply for the fund. We've made it easier, so you can take it home, work on a computer at home or somewhere else where it's not online, and that way you can make all the corrections you need before you finally upload. And like John Andreas said in the beginning, please do not wait till the last day to submit your application, because the system will be overloaded by people, almost most of the people trying to upload the applications. The sooner you do it, the better. And I want to say congratulations to the organization in India.
Deep Seva.
Pardon?
Deep Seva Samiti. Yeah.
Yes. To being the first ones to send in their applications, and we wish them good luck. We'll take some more questions online, or that's it.
Another one.
Yep, more questions.
Does the facilitating organization have to be led by youth?
The question is, does a facilitating organization have to be led by youth? No, the facilitating organization does not have to be led by youth. But the implementing organization must be led by youth.
Just one comment there to you, Eric. That what's important for the facilitating organization is that it has to be a non-profit organization. So it cannot. It has to be registered as a non-profit. So either an NGO, a local authority, a university, a UN agency. So you have a range of various actors, but it cannot be a for-profit company that is the facilitating organization. And then just for you, Shruti, another question from, I believe, the same Shannon on YouTube is the facilitating organization has only a 12A certificate. The organization has recently applied for an ATG. And the question is, does this organization qualify to be a facilitating organization?
Yes, it does. We're all right with the 12A. That's a minimum requirement. And if the organization has applied for the ATG, we would like them to scan their ATG application form while applying for the fund.
Thank you, Shruti. So back to Nairobi.
Thank you.
We don't have
Any more questions?
No.
No, so those are the end of the questions we have right now.
I think there was a question about how if the applications can be written in different languages. So yes, you can apply in English, Spanish, and French. Only these three languages. And another question that followed that was about priority country. So are there priority countries, and how do we see like these projects from these countries? Do you want to answer that?
If John Andres, you could answer the question on priority countries and how these projects are selected.
Yes. In terms of Morocco, yes, the issue with not so many projects from Morocco has been lack of qualified proposals. So basically, there has not been good enough proposals from Morocco. Morocco being a French-speaking country has, to some degree, a slightly higher priority for the Youth Fund than Sub-Saharan Africa. The whole Africa has the same priority, of course, but we do strive to also have French-speaking youth groups, countries in the list of funded projects. So youth groups from West Africa with have a French native language or applying on with the French proposal do have a slightly higher priority in the screening than the English-speaking ones. But as such, Morocco is not a priority country. But because Morocco is a French-speaking country, you are on a slightly higher priority list for the Youth Fund due to your language.
Okay, probably we can take two more questions.
Okay.
Hi, thank you for the opportunity. This is what Violet says. I have two questions. Is it possible to apply when you have recently registered and you're working as development consultants? The project will be monitored and evaluated by the consultancy firm, but the implementation is done in collaboration with an NGO. The second question, is it allowed to apply as development consultants since we have identified the problem and its causes and effects, and we have designed a project to bring the change, but we want to implement it working with another NGO? I think it's more the same question.
I think the question relates to partnership and eligibility. Again, the organization to be eligible, they must be non-profit and youth-led. So if this consulting firm sounds not too certain on its status, if it's not nonprofit, then the implementing organization that's been mentioned should apply, and it could be should apply and look for a partner. Again, the consulting firm must be nonprofit. Um, it's a question of partnership. I would advise they look at the FAQs and eligibility properly, but the youth-led organization or implementing should apply by itself or with a partner that's also a nonprofit in that manner. I hope that makes sense because the question it's mostly talking about partnerships and eligibility. So if you could refer to the eligibility section of the guidelines.
Just to add a piece there, Eric. In general, when we are screening proposals and budgets, if a proposal have a high proposal that includes paying consultants, we usually cut that part of the budget out. The youth fund is not supposed to be used for extensive travel activities, not to be used to pay consultants, and especially not to pay corruption. So most likely, if you produce a budget that includes paying consultants, we will not approve that that part of the budget.
Thank you.
Last comment by Collins. He thinks that gender empowerment needs to be upscaled from empowerment to unleashing the potential, because for ages we have had gender empowerment and it seems that the genders aren't empowered or take more time to empower.
Thank you for your comment. We're very interested to see what you would like to do on such an aspect, because women's empowerment and just a lot of talk about gender equality for a very long time. Now, with the youth fund, the Urban Youth Fund, and also the gender component, there may be opportunities to do something more concrete to work on empowerment, gender equality, but also unleashing what potential there are in the society. So yes, bring on projects, proposals, and come up with good ideas to how you can take it further from the talk about empowerment.
Thank you. So it seems like we've concluded all the questions. We've answered all the questions that came through. If you have more questions, please send them through our email address on the Youth Fund document. A short direction.
So we'll still be taking questions as far as the Urban Youth Fund opportunity is concerned. So you can email us at youthfund@unhabitat.org. You can also visit our social media sites, that's on Twitter, through the at the Youth Fund handle or at the UN Habitat handle, or on Facebook through the Urban Youth Fund page. Thank you.
Thank you. And given this was quite successful and it was the first time we've done this, we do hope to do it at least once or twice more before the conclusion of the application period. So please, again, visit our Facebook sites and our social sites to look at where and when we shall be doing the next broadcast. Thank you, and have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Stop broadcasting.